From Wikipedia, Star Control 2 became regarded as one of the best games of all time by numerous publications in the 1990s, 2000s, and 2010s. It also ranked among the best games in several specific areas, including writing and world design, character design, and music. The game was an influence on the open-ended gameplay of Tim Kane's Fallout, the world design of Mass Effect, and the story events of Stellaris. Let's get to it. Let's play fucking Star Control. Get out of here, Oblivion. I don't care about you. I want to play Star Control. Alright, now, I'm playing like a slightly pimped version of this video game, but it is still a game from, what is it, 1994? So bear with me as we delve into oh, thank you, Rage Zombie. As we delve into Star Control 2. Stop playing the credits with your upbeat music. I don't want it. So this was originally released in 1992 for DOS, and then re-released in 1994 for the 3DO. You guys remember the 3DO that your parents bought for $650 $1994? Imagine going to the store and buying like a PS5, but it costs you $1,500 and there are no games. Like, literally there was just nothing to play on the 3DO, but it could play... Fuck off. But it could play CD-ROMs like a bitch. Stupid CDO. Anyway, yeah, so like one of the best games you could play on the 3DO was a port of a 2-year-old DOS game. So I don't know what that tells you. So this is a brilliant like space exploration, politics, dogfighting. There's like 25 different types of aliens, and there's a history, and there's a secret plot, and I'm gonna need to get a glass of water because people are gonna redeem hydrate. Which, thank you, I need that. But first, let's watch the intro. Are you ready? Let's go. Onyx, you're thinking of Starflight 2, which is a different awesome space game that we'll talk about some other time. Urquan and Battle Thralls are the bad guys. Earth is good guys. Take notes. Oh my god, the music's so good. Stuck on an alien world. Might as well settle down and have some kids. Oh shit, what does it make? Oh, no way! Starship Factory. I just don't want to interrupt the amazing soundtrack. P-chan has obviously played this game before. Amazing. I think I have to turn it down a little bit, though. Alright. So, that's right. The only way that I will get Mrs. Lane to have a child is if we are marooned on an alien planet, and it's the only way to continue the human race. We're not really into kids. So what the heck is happening in this video game? There was a war between Earth and its friendly allies, and the Urquan, whoever that is, and their hierarchy of battle thralls. And that's because the first game was really just a game where you fight spaceships. And they didn't have a story. So for the second game, they're like, let's make a story out of this. So the war, well, we don't know what happened. We were stuck on Unserwald, I think, is the planet where we were stuck. And so we've got this advanced precursor spaceship, and we finally drifted our way back towards Earth to find out what happened during that war 20 years ago. No joke, that is my spaceship's actual turning speed. Your ship kind of sucks at this point. That's Earth. Oh, I missed it. Hold on, we'll get there. That's fine, course correct. Alright. So that's weird.
Attention, Europa. Heed this recorded message. This drone vessel speaks with the voice and authority of the Urquan.
I love the voice and authority of the Urquan.
Trespassing within Urquan space. This world, Earth, may not be approached for any reason.
Try talking like that.
Nor will hostilities against our orbital platform be tolerated.
I'm so happy to be here with you today, Twitch.
Does not respond to standard hierarchy identification transmissions, and is therefore deemed to be independent. This is not permissible. Only subservience shall be tolerated. This drone now leaves to inform the Urquan of your transgressions. You are commanded to remain here and await the arrival of the Urquan. Disobedience will be punished.
So, yeah, straight up, they don't wait. They introduce you to the badasses of which this game, well, this version of this game is named after.
Flashlight. We got it, baby. Isn't that sick?
Hi everyone, funny text to speech, ha ha ha. I'm so high I'm gonna go get munchies, marble cheese for a marble cow. Didn't want to interrupt the cool monologue, sick game as well, super cool.
Alright, cool shaders. Have a nice marble cheese. Let us know how it goes. So, yeah. It seems that maybe the war didn't go so well, because there was a representative of the evil alien species left behind at the planet Earth, which is, that's not great. And the Earth itself seems to be encased in some kind of gross red shield. This is where people from Servios come to hang out and be cool? Are you from Servios? Are we coworkers? So you can do science in this game. You can scan planets. Possibly. Next part, I have to figure out who you are. I've been meeting a lot of new people recently. Too bad he didn't drop in Sunday. I was repping the merch. This game actually looks so intensely cool. Oh, it is. It is. So, it has the greatest sound when you can't do something. You're from QA? Oh, well. I look forward to meeting properly. What's this game? This is Star Control 2. Quite possibly one of the best games of all time. We're just getting started, don't worry. This is the part where you're supposed to be confused. So we found Earth, but we can't do anything about it. However, here's a space station. So let's go to the ISS and see what's happening there.
Attention, unidentified space vessel. I am Starbase Commander Hayes of the slave planet Earth. Our hyperwave broadcast is extremely weak. Situation critical. Energy cores exhausted. Scanners and deep radar are non-functional. We cannot identify your vessel. Are you the scheduled hierarchy resupply ship?
No.
Repeat. Are you the resupply vessel?
How come we didn't get a chance to rename our ship? Don't we usually get to do that? Slave planet? Hierarchy resupply vessel? What is going on here?
Look, I don't know who you are or why you're here, but right now the only thing I'm worried about is saving the lives of 1,900 men and women aboard this
They're
Starbase,
partying
and right
too
now,
hard.
you're our only
They're running
hope.
out of
I can't
electrolytes.
keep the transmitter on too much longer. We need the power for heat and air, so if you don't have any radioactives on board your vessel, please get some and bring them back here before it's too late.
We've been raving for 20 years. We need emergency supplies. Where can we find the radioactive elements that you need?
The fastest way to get radioactives in this system would be to land on Mercury and scour the surface for deposits of radioactive elements. But be careful. Mercury's a pretty inhospitable place. Watch out for earthquakes and those high temperature areas.
He sounded extra dubbed there. Watch out for earthquakes and those high temperature areas.
Thanks, I'll make sure to mention this the next time I talk with our masters. I'm sure they will reward you.
Oh yeah, this is gonna go great, I'm sure. Let's go to Mercury and find some radioactives so we can resupply the never-ending rave on the ISS. Let's go! Oh wait, Mercury is this way. Mercury is this way, guys. Towards the sun. You had to spend all summer working at Great America for your crappy $5.15 minimum wage to save up enough money to buy the 3DO, this game, Guardian War, and Might and Magic 6? Really? You think that you would have gone for a cheaper console if you're working a low wage? Why did you go for the 3DO of all things? You could have bought like a Super Nintendo and every single Super Nintendo game for the same price. This orbiting mechanic that's so cool. Yeah, actually the planets will be at different points when you come back later in time. There's a date that you can see over the calendar there. It progresses. Shit actually happens. Wars continue and stuff, like while you're not around. And the planets move. It's great. There's Mercury. What is this game? This is Star Control 2. Let's pull up to Mercury and get some radioactive elements. Pull up very slowly. Game was ahead of its time? You have no idea. This game is so good. Look at those minerals. Look at those minerals. So the minerals are color-coded based on what kind they are. I don't remember. I think it's going to pop up the names, but things like iron and like neutral elements and stuff, those are in gray. Halides and stuff are in red. Valuable minerals are in gold, like silver and gold, and the radioactive stuff is orange. Are you mining minerals? Yeah, we're gonna go and do a little mining. We have a little lander that we can dispatch. Gosh, I hope I remember what button it is to return. Send down the Mako. That's right. That's exactly what we're doing. Ah, fuck. So you have to dodge fire. It is escape. Okay, we got the radioactives. Let's go back to Earth. Yeah, there's fires and earthquakes and lightning that can blow up your lander if you're not careful, so... And right now we only have one, so let's not do that. The game plays while you're not playing the game. Well, I mean, the game has to be on. Time doesn't pass while the game is off or anything. But you have to be efficient with your time. If you fuck around too much in one area of space, things could go badly in a different one. You can get soft locked. No, the game never becomes impossible to beat, but like there may be some downsides. Like some people you might want to rescue might not make it. It's that kind of game. Am I spice mining? I don't think there's any like Arrakis planets. I don't think there's any like spice you can collect, but
Did you
might be
find
wrong.
any radioactive elements for our power core?
Yeah. What will you give us in exchange for radioactives?
I'm sorry, Captain, your message was garbled.
Uh-huh.
The receivers have very little power.
Yeah. Before we help you, we require certain information.
I couldn't quite make it out, Captain. Could you please repeat?
You son of a bitch. We are ready to transfer the radioactives.
We're initiating transfer.
Oh,
of
now his
radioactives,
transceiver
Captain.
works.
Now, as soon as our engineers can refit the energy cores...
Like the timeline that shows how long they'll talk for? Oh yeah, it's great. You can actually scrub... You can scrub back and forth too. Like, it's fucking good.
As soon as our engineers can refit the energy cores... There, that's much better. Power ratings are climbing. Life support is coming back into the green. Deep radar systems and sensors are now online, and I can scan your vessel.
Scan me,
What
daddy.
kind of ship is that?
Aw, yeah.
Just who are you, Captain?
He turned off the rave lights, but he left the music on. I am Captain Zelnick of the Starship Vindicator. How do I rename? I swear that that's possible. I don't understand what's going on here. I'm Captain Zelnick of the Starship Vindicator. We are the survivors of a Star Control science research team to the Vela star system.
Star Control science mission, huh? Captain, I served as a Star Control officer during the war.
That's the name of the
with several
game.
Cruisers in the Corward Front. And if there'd been any scientific mission to Vela, I would have heard about it.
It was a secret mission.
You know, come to think of it,
He actually
there
goes
were some
for it.
rumors that Corridor 9, the Special Operations Division of Star Control,
One of the
was
menus?
directing
Okay,
some
cool.
hush-hush operation near Androsynth Space. The Vela star
Don't ask
system.
about the
Yes,
Androsynth.
that would be the right direction. So, Captain, if you say it's true, how do you explain that huge alien starship you're flying?
That huge
Why are you
alien
here?
starship.
What do you want from us?
We have returned to Earth to give you the technological secrets of the precursors and help you fight the hierarchy. Actually, maybe now is the time for the background.
Okay, what do you want to know?
What's the purpose of the starbase?
Urquan slave law requires that we maintain an orbital space platform to assist hierarchy vessels which are in need of repairs or fuel. Since the shield around the Earth cuts us off completely from the planet, we're dependent on the Urquan resupply ships for our non-renewable resources. The resupply vessels are supposed to arrive every 5 years, at which time the Urquan somehow penetrate the shield and exchange those of us up here with replacement personnel from the surface.
Rough. The strange glow, that would be the slave shield.
When the Alliance lost the war, the Urquan gave Earth a single choice. Join the hierarchy as battle thralls and fight for the Urquan to enslave other sentient species, or become fallow slaves and be forever imprisoned on a single world encased in
I think it's pronounced
impenetrable
fellow
energy
slaves.
shield here on Earth. We choose not to fight for the Urquan.
Where are they now?
Soon after the Earth accepted the Urquan's oath of fealty, they departed, leaving behind a battle group of Spathi and Ilrath ships based on the moon.
Oh, it sure did. What was that red, fast-moving object in orbit around Earth? The one that came and spooked us with its gravelly voice that's somehow so enticing. Have I visited the sand planet? You mean Arrakis? We basically told the Urquan to go fuck themselves human style, and they imprisoned us on our own planet. Yeah, that's the interesting thing about the Urquan. If they beat you and you don't want to join them, they don't kill you. They just trap you onto...
The one with the spices.
They just trap you on your planet forever. Which is interesting, and we'll come back to that.
That was the Urquan security drone that keeps an eye on us. Captain, what happened to the spy drone?
So yeah, I don't think there's an Arrakis reference in this game, which is too bad. When we hit the month of October, Spooktober, forget that shit. It's gonna be Spicetober. We're drinking only pumpkin spice lattes and playing Dune video games until the release of Dune, which I will probably go watch in a theater, but I will be privately renting the room. Big thanks to Aquamelon for getting me off my ass and showing me that this is actually possible in my city. I'm gonna get my fellow Siege posters. I could have said Dune heads or something, but yeah. Anyway, we're gonna rent out a screen and watch Dune. When we approached, it transmitted a warning and warped into hyperspace.
Oh no!
Oh
right
no!
Now it's probably cruising through hyperspace, heading right towards the closest hierarchy outpost. When the Urquan find out that you're here, they're gonna send a combat fleet instantly.
Damn. Can't believe I lost the game right away. Well, luckily, we have returned to Earth to give you the technological secrets of the precursors and help you fight the hierarchy.
Ah, fight the Urquan. Win back our freedom. I remember having such thoughts myself once, long time ago. That was in the first years after the defeat, when it was still terrifying to look up and see the bloody glow of the pulsating slave shield overhead. Though day and night we gazed up at the impenetrable wall as though the sheer power of our hatred would pull it down. But over the years I spent so much of my time struggling, down on the surface, under the shield, and then later up here trying to keep the station alive, that I'd forgotten what it means to be free, to hate our Urquan masters.
That's the name of the game.
Now here you are, in an alien ship of unknown power, offering me your assistance to fight against the hierarchy again after all these years. Captain, your offer is intriguing. It's tempting to think that with your advanced precursor technology, we can somehow crack the Earth's slave shield and reassemble the Alliance to attack the hierarchy. And this time, win the damn war. Consider the consequences if you should fail. The Urquan won't just punish us here on the station, they'll exact a gruesome retribution on the surface below as well.
What's up, Mini Adam?
Before I commit this station to helping you attack the Urquan and accepting the risk of annihilation if we are defeated, I have to make sure that you and your ship have what it takes to oppose the hierarchy. I'll make you a deal. If you can eliminate the alien base on the moon and get rid of that threat at least, I will seriously consider your offer.
Alright. I'm sure it's going to take all of our resources, but we will attack that moon base. What details can you give us about the base on the moon?
After the Urquan erected the slave shield around the Earth and established this space station, they decided to leave a contingent of combat ships close to the Earth to keep watch on our planet and confirm that they were obeying the Urquan slave laws. I'm certain they're still out there on the surface of the moon because we can pick up a constant stream of alien broadcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful, Captain. There are probably a dozen Spathi eluders and Ilrath Avengers down there on the lunar surface. I don't know why they haven't come after you yet, but when they do, you'd better have your weapons armed and your thrusters burning hot.
Let's go. Time to hit the moon base. Game. Settings. Cyborg. I have no idea what that setting does. This is Captain McLean. What's our ship's name? Come on, chat, don't let me down. Cyborg has the computer fight battles for you. Oh, okay. Keep it coming. Let's workshop those names a little bit. The ISS Barnaby. Yeah, Spacey McSpaceface. I think that exceeds the character limit. The underscore yep. Guys, we have 8 characters. Also it goes when you can't do it. That's amazing. Ah yes, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The SS Yep. I'm down for the SS Yep. Let's make it the USS Yep to keep it like Star Trek style. Alright. We are now Captain McLean of the USS Yep. And let's head up the moon. Sorry, my wireless headphones just died on me and now everything sounds really weird. So, this scientific view is from the DOS version. It's text. It's alright, but we could switch it up a little bit. Before we do anything else here, we have some options between the PC and 3DO versions. So we could do pictographic menus and pictograms. You're like, what the fuck does that mean? Oh, hold on, I'll show you. So now our options in the menu look like this, and they're super cute. Right? Super cute, bro. Now it's actually not as usable because you don't know how many options there are, and it's very easy to get lost in this menu. But it's super cute, so I'm gonna allow it. And now, the science also is like pictographic instead of text-based. And I don't know if it's better or worse. What do you guys think? Yo, what's up, Chemical Fire? You like this more? Alright, cool. Let's stick with this. Aha! There's an energy reading and biological scans on the moon. Biological scans on the moon? We're whalers on the moon. We carry a harpoon. And we tell tales because there ain't no whales. Wait, no. Anyway.
Nurse.
I think I got that wrong.
Flashlight.
It's a robot.
We got it, baby. Isn't that sick?
Yo, Slaughterhouse. Thank you so much for the Prime and 3 months. As you can see, we're not DBDing today. I hope that's alright. I hope you don't mind. We're doing a little retro gaming. Yeah, you shoot the robots and they disappear. Look, they couldn't afford like particle effects and stuff. All right, give them a break. Oh, fill up on iron. Give me that calcium. Give me that aluminum. Also, check this out. Check this out. Wraparound minimap. Never ending. Scientifically accurate. Time to go investigate that energy signature. Report from the surface. We have discovered an alien base and have explored its interior. The installation must have been abandoned many years ago, but great care has been taken to make it appear active. Life support systems are functioning, fusion generators are at full output, and robotic construction vehicles have been programmed to roam the lunar surface, bulldozing moon dust into random piles. In addition, we have found the installation's hyperwave locked in transmit mode, endlessly playing the same alien recording. Although we cannot translate the message, our Xenotech, Ensign Rigby, believes the message is some kind of alert or Mayday broadcast. The base is filled with useful materials and equipment. We will scavenge as much as we can and bring it aboard immediately. Okay, well that was pretty easy. Let's go. Yeah, Onyx, one JPEG takes more storage space in this game.
Have you dealt with the base yet?
We attacked the moon base and completely destroyed the enemy.
You fought them, Captain? I hope you didn't suffer serious casualties.
It was too horrible for words. I just can't talk about it right now.
I'm sure the experience was disturbing. Captain, listen closely. Long-range sensors show a ship closing on this station fast. Our computer identifies it as Ilrath, Avenger class.
Ah, shit.
I think you've got a fight on your hands, Captain. Your best bet is to wait until you have point-blank range. Captain, it's jamming.
This fucker telling me to wait until point-blank range with a goddamn Earth cruiser. No wonder you guys lost the war.
Breath of the Dark Twin Kazan, a human and an alien starship. How
I love these guys.
When I intercepted that Urquan drone and learned that an unidentified
He types like your aunt on Facebook.
Earth, I never expected to find such a remarkable vehicle in the hands of a human. Humans are prey animals, weak and helpless. But here is a human in an armed starship, and therefore in direct violation of the oath of fealty.
Every race gets their own font. I love it.
Our masters, the Urquan, will punish Earth most severely for this treachery when I present them with the twisted wreckage of your ship and your many charred corpses.
Oh, this guy. I love this fucking guy. Where the hell did you come from?
Since you will soon be dead, I will gladly accept.
This voice actor is having so much fun.
I've spent many years gleefully preying on the Patunk. They are a pitiful, easily killed species. And we would have continued in this divine worship of Togar and Kazan, but we required additional crew members and repairs to our cloaking device. So we departed the Jiglass constellation and set course.
Jiglass constellation.
But before we had reached our region of space,
Take notes.
we detected the passage of a nearby vessel, the Urquan drone. It informed us about you, so here we are. And now, you die.
Don't wanna. So this is the combat, where you choose which ship from your fleet you would like to send in. So we can send Captain Van Roon out in our Earth cruiser, or we can send ourselves out in the USS Yep. Let's not do that. The USS Yep is not combat ready, so we're going to send Captain Van Rooyen out in our only Earth cruiser. The reason why I'm taking notes, yeah, so this game doesn't have like a quest log or a journal that gives you useful information as you come across it. If it were made later, it probably would have had that. I don't think it would have hurt. It probably would have helped. But what you're supposed to do is, in your conversations with aliens, take note of like who they're talking about, and especially if they mention locations, it's always for a reason. So in this case, the Ilrath came up and he was like, "Yeah, we were busy preying on the Pakunk in the Jiklas system." So you're like, Pakunk, Jiklas system. All right, so that's so you know where to go if you want to meet the Pakunk. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Oh shit, I missed. So Earth cruisers have long-range missiles. Easy. Easy because his cloaking device was down.
Captain, I haven't seen an Avenger blown away like that since the battle in Draco. I guess you've shown that you can handle yourself in battle, Captain. So my last reservation about helping you has been dissolved. I will commit this station to helping free Earth and defeat the Urquan.
He saw me blow up a half-dead Ilrath Avenger with no cloaking device. He's like, yeah, let's go.
So the obvious first step is to get the precursor equipment and software over here so that we can make it work with our ship repair fabricators. But then what, Captain?
Trust me, Commander, I have a plan, a really good plan, but for now it must remain a secret.
If you feel it's necessary, Captain, I understand. By the way, Captain, I think we need a name for this new alliance we're going to forge. And since it was your idea, it's only fair that you get the honor of naming it. So, what will it be?
There's only one correct answer here. The United Federation of Worlds.
That has a familiar ring to it. Nonetheless, we'll make it so.
Nah.
The United Federation of Worlds. Now, Captain, I expect the configuration process for the starbase to take at least 2 weeks, so let's get to work.
What's up, Doziano?
I have good news to report, Captain.
Oh, hold on, the rave's not over yet.
We successfully integrated the precursor technology from your ship into our fabricator system, and as you can see, we've already begun minor repairs on your ship, patching up some of the micrometeorite holes. We noticed that your ship does not have an emergency warp escape unit, so our engineers rigged up some for you and each of your escorts. Now, you should be able to escape from a bad situation with the touch of a button. But there is a cost, however. The unit gulps up 5 fuel units each time your precursor ship uses
Yeah, we're going to get to that,
also,
Onyx.
We now have a limited capacity to make modifications to your ship, to refine starship fuel, to build additional combat ships, and to train new members of your crew for the flagship and any ships you acquire for your fleet. Captain, I know you're eager to get to work, so I'll be brief. If you have any questions how this starbase works, what resources we need, or just some background information on the galaxy, don't hesitate to ask.
Yeah, so this is one of my chilling games, I think you'd say, Bori. This is actually a game that I've spent quite a lot of time playing back in the day, I guess you'll say. It's been a while. I've played through it a few times. It's one of my all-time faves. An acquired taste? Yeah, I mean, if you don't like older games, then this will rub you the wrong way with its oldness. Although I think it holds up better than a lot of similar games. Just a few years earlier, and it would have looked like Starflight 2, which I probably will dig up someday to show you the real shit. But yeah, the voice acting, I think, is pretty solid. If I understand the timeline correctly, when it was released in 1992, it didn't have voice acting because you couldn't fit that on a floppy. But by the time it released on the 3DO, which was a CD-ROM based console, that was the whole gimmick. You're like, you have basically infinite storage on a CD-ROM, and one of the earliest things that people figured they were going to do with all that storage space was put voice acting in their games. So the 3DO release included this voice acting, which honestly I think is great. Tempest, were you here for the Ilrath speech? The spider alien? Oh yeah, no, this guy's the most neutral. Like, just like every alien species has this amazing. Like, not only do they get their own font to get their like vibe across, which would have been the only way you would have known what they like sounded like while playing on DOS. They each have amazing voices and mannerisms and stuff. I have minerals to offload.
The more minerals you bring us, Captain, the faster we'll be able to tackle the Urquan.
That went by pretty fast, but what you saw there was each class of mineral that I had, how many I had, and then what the value is per unit. So like stuff like radioactives is like 25 per unit. So when I go over something and it says, aha, you picked up like 10, I don't know, radium or uranium or something, then you in your mind you kind of multiply that by 25 to be like, aha, that's how many RUs I got out of it. Font is just accents for text. That's right. That and chemming.
Certainly, Captain. What do you need to know?
Alright, so we're going to get to the action in a few minutes. First, we're going to do a little history lesson so that Onyx can get his background info. I'm just fucking with you. It's good shit. Tell us what happened.
Aspect of history, Captain?
Tell us about the war.
What about the war? Earth got involved late in the game in 2112 when the Chenjesu arrived in our solar system for the first time. So let's back up a few years to 2098 when the Chenjesu super-sensitive receivers detected a strange signal from the Ophiuchi constellation.
Ophiuchi
Though
constellation.
The Chenjesu didn't know it was the first sign of the Urquan's arrival. The Urquan, having detected the presence of many sentient species, were beaming out an exulting hunting cry. The first direct evidence of the Urquan's intent was the sudden conquest of the Umga, a solitary though not unfriendly species in the Uranus constellation. The Chenjesu, distraught by the invasion, were further angered when the Urquan turned their fleets on the hostile but weak Ilrath race. A hastily assembled defense force of Mercury and Chenjesu vessels turned the Urquan fleet aside, but the invader moved into Spathi space, rapidly subjugating that race. With each new conquest, the Urquan fleet grew larger as it added slave vessels to its ranks.
The dialogue bar is great, eh? And it's functional.
The Androsynth stars
Hold on, I went too far.
Joined the Chenjesu as it added slave vessels to its ranks. Earth joined the Chenjesu to form the Alliance of Free Stars at about the same time as the Androsynth stars fell to the Urquan Armada. Before the ink was dry on our agreement with the Chenjesu in 2116, a new race appeared in orbit around the moon and asked for admittance to the Alliance. It was the Arilu Lalile.
Yeah, the Arilu Lalile.
The Arilu were definitely weird, looking like saucer men from Mars, but we were too busy cranking up our mothballed heavy industry that we really didn't pay it much attention at the time.
The Arilu Lalile. I probably should have asked for background about the races first. Ah, well. I think I can go back.
Would you like any information?
Yeah, tell me about the races first. Tell me about the Alliance members first.
Which race?
Who do you guys want to know about? The Shofixti, the Yehat, the Arilu, the Chenjesu, the Mercury, or the Cyrene? First answer is who we go for. Mercury.
We didn't really get much of a chance to learn about those mechanical beings, but I'll tell you what I know. They're the product of a distant, unknown culture who sent a giant factory ark into our region of space many centuries ago. The Mother Ark, that's what the Earth Press called it, turned out millions of robots and finally broke down. I don't know why the Mercury didn't repair the Mother Ark. Maybe they can't. My personal guess as to why they were sent here is that they're on the leading edge of a colonization project. And once the Mercury obtained enough new worlds, the genuine colonists, whoever they are, will arrive and claim their due.
So the Mercury are robots.
The Shofixti are a race of intelligent marsupials who had been civilized for only a few decades when the war began. They were discovered in the Delta Gorno star system by the Yehat, who adopted and then uplifted the Shofixti, giving them advanced technology.
Uplifted. They just use the word. Cool.
Shofixti are noble and fearless warriors, Captain. In addition, their incredible fecundity and rapid maturation rate.
They fuck like rabbits.
Ranked solid even at the worst part of the war.
They bred them. They bred them like rabbits for war fodder.
Patrol. We never saw the enemy, but I could never stop thinking about the glory device it had strapped to the bottom of its hull.
They have glory holes on their ships. No, they're bombs. They're bombs. They're bombs. They're not glory holes. They're bombs. They bred them like rabbits. Tell us about the Yehat.
The Yehat are a race of ancient warrior clans that have been traveling the stars for many centuries. Clans are highly competitive and sometimes even wage war on each other, but the clans are all loyal to the queen and her royal family, known as the Veepzeeps.
The Veepzeep, yeah.
The Veepzeeps have been in power for over 2,000 years, and it is said that during their rule, the Yehat never lost a battle.
You guys are gonna flip when we finally meet the Yehat and you find out what they sound like. I fucking love it.
I'd like to think I'm not a bigoted person, Captain, especially when it comes to allies, but there's just something about those Arilu that gives
Say the whole
me
name.
creeps.
It's the Arilu Lalilai.
No, they possess some technique for moving really fast through hyperspace. They never let us know what it was, but sure beats the pants off our fastest ship.
Oh yeah, the Arilu Lalilai showed up one day and just started beating us off.
The Genjasu were leaders of the Alliance, even though they refused to accept formally the title. I don't know if their silicon-based biology is just plain superior to our old carbon models, or if their fantastic intellect were the product of an ancient, peaceful culture. Whatever the reason, I'd rather be taking orders from a Genjasu than any other life form, absolutely. One of
The
more
Genjasu
amazing
are
things
crystals.
about them was they never used hyperwave communicators. They could send messages naturally, and their natural hyperwave receptors were much more sensitive than even our best units.
Just crystal boys. Just nice, peaceful crystal boys who could talk to each other across space. Tell me about the Cyrene, Starbase Commander. Yo, what's up, Mark? Seems like a Mass Effect ripoff? Yeah, I know. Yeah, fuck this game.
Most raw recruits saw the Cyrene as nothing more than warm, breathing pinups.
Yikes.
Warm they are, and yes, they do breathe most magnificent.
Oh, God.
They are
Cancel the
far
Starbase
more
Commander.
Simple joy units. The history shows the Cyrene established and maintained a peaceful culture from their Bronze Age through their discovery of starflight. Before their planet was destroyed in a horrible cataclysm, their world was an Eden. What other group of aliens are you interested in?
Let's learn about the hierarchy races. And yes, all these races are in the game. You meet them all, well, okay, some of them you don't meet for reasons that are interesting. There are others that aren't even listed here. They're all well voice acted. You don't even know what a treat you guys are in for and how fucking good this game is. Let's hear about the hierarchy and their battle thralls.
Which species?
The Urquan, the Mycon, the Spathi, the Umga, the Androsynth, the Ilrath, the Vux, all in caps. Let's start with the big boys themselves. Tell me about the Urquan.
Our enemy is cunning, relentless, and possesses technology superior to all, but perhaps that found aboard your starship.
That's right.
The
We got
Urquan
precursor
are
tech.
born, live, and die for one purpose only: the subjugation of all other intelligent life in the galaxy. Why? I don't know. They'd probably have an easier time just destroying intelligence, but they're very careful not to use more force than is necessary to achieve their victim's submission.
Interesting.
I'd like to know what made those wormy bastards as twisted as they are, and I'd like to know why they keep on the move, never stopping longer than it takes to enslave whomever they find.
I wonder if there's some kind of interesting motivation behind the Urquan behavior. Ever heard of the series Humans Are Space Orcs? A creative writing project telling stories of humans from the perspective of aliens and how weird humans are, like how we regulate our temperatures with sweat. Nah, I'm not familiar with that. That's always a fun part of sci-fi, is to turn the mirror on ourselves. Tell us about the Mycon.
The Mycons are hard to get a handle on. In fact, I'm not sure any human has ever had a real conversation with a Mycon.
Really? I heard he was a
Most
fun
of them
guy.
learn from their corpses, which I may add have a nasty habit of coming back to life when thawed out from a decompression quick freeze. Mycon ships seem to expend a significant amount of energy on life support. This is probably because the Mycon only thrive in temperatures close to the melting point of lead. As far as we know, the Mycon are the only race to actively seek out the Urquan in order to become combat slaves.
That didn't tell us any of the cool stuff about the Mycon. I guess they're just slow rolling it. Juffo up fills my fibers.
Imagine facing a cowardly, mobile clam armed with a howitzer.
This is the
You've got a good
Spathi.
idea of what
Hold
it's
on,
like dealing with
I need to hear that
Spathi.
again.
Imagine facing a cowardly, mobile clam armed with a howitzer, and you've got a good idea of what it's like dealing with a Spathi.
Gun
Although they
clam.
tend to avoid battles as much as their masters will allow, once in battle, a Spathi eluder is one tough cookie. I once heard a rumor, though I don't like to believe in it myself, that a rogue band of courageous Spathi broke away from the main Starfleet. painted their ships black with bright red stripes, and formed the Black Spathy Squadron, dedicated to performing brave and hostile deeds. Like I said, I'd have to see it to believe it.
He spends half his time talking about the race about one weird rumor. They don't sound cool to me. Melting point of lead. Haha.
It's unfortunate that the Umga fell to the Urquan so early in the war, because I suspect we would have gotten along well with those big blob creatures.
Umga,
At
blobs.
the very least, it would have been entertaining. We know them a bit better than most races because they were eager to talk with our ships before, after, and during battle. The Arielu intimated that they had a relationship with the Umga before the Urquan arrived.
Say the whole
I
name.
don't know any details.
Say the Arilulalile. Arilulalile. Tell us about the Androsynth.
When I was flying combat missions along the Corward front, there was nothing we feared more than the Androsynth hit-and-run squadron.
This is our only chance to ask about the
Ships were more
Androsynth.
than a match for our cruisers, so we stayed clear of Ada Vulpecula, the
Ah,
home star.
Ada
In
Vulpecula, you
addition, I
say.
think each of us aboard the ship knew deep down in our hearts that the Androsynth had a damn good reason for hating us.
Yes,
Our grandparents had kept them as slaves for nearly 50 years.
that's right. Humans did it. They made them and they enslaved them, and when they left, they had good reason. The Androsynth are the Cylons, basically.
I still have nightmares about those spiders taking me prisoner, using me as one of their 6 sacrifices to Dogar and Kazon.
Dogar
the twin
and
gods of
Kazon.
destruction and torment. Those guys were almost as scary as the Androsynth to those of us in Deep Space Patrol. Their Avenger ships could appear out of nowhere and melt a cruiser down to slag in seconds.
It's because the Earth Cruiser
Luckily for us,
sucks.
the bulk of the Ilrath fleet was thrown against the Genjesu and the Murnaherm.
Which is crazy, because Chinjesu and Murnaherm can murder the shit out of Avengers. Anyway, we haven't gotten into the meta yet. We'll get there. Now tell me about the Vux. All caps.
The Starship Far Voyager under the command of Captain Jeffrey L. Rand encountered the Vux near Beta Mira.
Beta Mira.
Although the details are hazy, it's generally accepted that Rand offended the Vux starship commander with an inadvertent insult.
So scant on the details. Guys, these races have so much personality, I just can't wait. Androsynth at Ada Vulpeculae, and that was the Vux at Beta Mirae. Vux.
What other group of aliens are you interested in?
That's it. Were there any alien races who weren't in the war? Oh yeah.
None that we had made formal contact with. The Chenjesu implied that they had met 2 other star-faring species, one near the Gickless constellation and the other directly corward from Procyon.
That's the
The
Pukunk.
Arilulalile once mentioned having some fun with an alien race in Draconis, but like so much else with the Arilu, they never revealed the whole story. I'm sure there are hundreds more alien races in our galaxy, but beyond what I've told you, your guess is as good as mine.
What's a Vux? Yeah, the Vux are a race. There's like 25 races in this game. You loved this game so much back in the day? I'm happy to inform you that it is very playable. Just Google the Urquan Masters, and you can get a beautiful, well-running, customizable version of this video game. I have sufficient information
Would you like
on the subject,
on
thank
any
you.
other aspect of history? We have some data on this subject.
Tell me more about the
What do
war.
you want to know about?
Oh, have I lost the option to hear more about the war? Oh.
Well, you probably know more about them than I do, but here goes. About 200,000 years ago, when our great-to-the-nth grandparents were just starting to play with stone knives and bearskins, a star-faring species suddenly appeared.
This is
on
the
galactic
precursors,
scene
like our
and
ship.
spread like wildfire. We found evidence of their presence just about everywhere, from an orbital platform on Alpha Centauri,
Alpha
to a
Centauri.
stack of data plates in a cave on Pluto, to some nameless widget found in a voodoo shop in New Orleans. We never found a precursor body or even a picture of one. We can conjecture what they look like by examining the scale and layout of their equipment. Such an analysis indicates they were giants, say 5 to 8 meters tall and twice as wide. I don't know if they
I
looked
asked
more
a
like
group
a
of people for
brontosaur
any
or
alien
an
workers
elephant.
to teach me about
Anyway,
different
about
space
3,000 years
cultures.
after the
I had
precursors
24
made their
out of
dramatic
25
appearance, they
of them,
vanished.
but they
Boom.
ran out of Vux to
As
give
far as
about
we can
my
tell, it
problem.
took less than a decade to happen.
Ran out of Vux. Thank you, Aquamelon. Any other races from the ancient past?
You mean besides the precursors? Well, the only information we have is secondhand based on some research by a Chenzetsu historian that I read at the academy. Zertzak, the historian, found
Yeah.
some evidence that
I read
a group of
Zertzak.
alien races who formed an interstellar empire not too far from here about 22,000 years ago. The only species in this empire actually lived in our region of space was a race of rock-like creatures who lived in the Vulpeculae
Rock-like creatures from the
constellation.
Vulpeculae
The presence
constellation.
of the hostile androsynth in that part of space severely limited Zertzak's research. He never even found out the race's name. Yes, there is.
Aliens.
Aside from the precursor
Ancient
relics
aliens.
we have found on Earth, often in museums mislabeled as modern.
Haha, modern art sucks, am I right?
Disturbing evidence of much more recent visitations. Perhaps you're already aware that during the mid to late 20th century, there were unaccountable UFO sightings as well as dozens of reported encounters with alien life forms.
The Arily Lolly
Although we can discount many of the reports as wishful fabrication or traumatic translation, the military authorities of the time kept a secret record of the incidents
truth is out
which
there.
were legitimate. In each such case, the aliens are almost identical in appearance. They have white skin and minimal facial features except for huge almond-shaped eyes, which are often described as glowing or luminescent. This description fits almost perfectly the Arielu Lolly.
I said it.
In most of the legitimate encounters, the people involved describe being physically examined or modified by the aliens.
The
In
Arily
some
Lolly
cases,
anally probed the
unusual
humans.
pregnancies occurred, and in almost every instance,
Unusual
there were repeat
pregnancies.
visitations as though the Arielu Lolly were doing checkups on their subjects. We never got the chance to confront the Arielu Lolly about what they did to us and why.
Alright, I'll catch you later, Onyx. Enjoy the VOD. This is fascinating, but I must move on.
Would you like information on any other aspect of history?
I wanted to hear about the rest of the war.
Sure. Anything else?
You guys don't need to know about what they can do with the starbase. They can repair stuff and sell stuff, it's fine. How can we defeat the
Can
Urquan?
you be more specific?
How should I deal with
It all
aliens?
depends on whom you meet, doesn't it, Captain? Well, in all seriousness, if you encounter the Ilrap, Vux, Androsynth, or other hierarchy battle thralls, I wouldn't hold out much hope for a peaceful encounter. So if you feel you have the advantage, attack. The resources you will scavenge from the enemy's wreckage are well worth the effort. If you can find alliance races who are in a position to help us, then you must convince them to join with us. Their assistance may be crucial to our success.
This is like probably the longest conversation in the whole game. I'm gonna skip a little bit of it now. How can we deal with the Urquan?
Captain, I wish I had an easy answer, but I don't. The only way I can see of liberating Earth as well as the Alliance allies is to destroy the Urquan and their armada of battle thralls entirely.
Alright, you know
What
what?
else can I tell you?
Let's do it.
What
Oh,
What about...
now we can actually find out what happened in the war. Because for those who are tuning in and are really confused, we have shown up at Earth with an advanced spaceship after being trapped on an alien planet for 20 years and missing the war between Earth and the Urquan. We're back now. We want to do something about it. Earth lost. The red thing behind this guy, that's Earth under a slave shield, and we're going to try to free Earth. There you go, you're caught up.
At the start of the war, here on Earth, we were working like crazy, churning out hundreds of heavy cruisers and smaller support
Maybe try building a
vehicles.
better ship, because
The
cruisers
Urquan
suck.
were busy too. Unbeknownst to us, they had moved down towards the Luton Star Group and were attacking the Vux, who only the Yehat knew existed. Our botched first contact with the Vux took place in 2119, and it was the biggest single mistake we made during the war. After defeating the Vux, the Urquan fleets ran smack into the combined might of the Yehat and Shofixti, supported by the first wave of our cruisers. Again, the Urquan turned away from the hard spot to attack the weak, though we just thought they were running away. In fact, the Urquan had found another independent alien race, the Mycon, in the Brahe constellation.
Brahe.
The Mycon's voluntary submission to the Urquan brought the return of the Urquan fleets, now swollen with 100 devastating Mycon pod ships.
That's bad.
The last entrants to the conflict were the Cyrene, a race of space gypsies who had escaped the hierarchy by moving their
Spathy means
vast
sword
fleet
in
of
Greek.
slow-moving
Yeah,
habitats
cool.
into human space. With the side set, the last Urquan offensive began.
Yeah, that's right. Like, why are we asking all this information? We've been trapped on an alien planet with no way off for 20 years until we found a secret ancient starship factory which built the USS Yep that you see over there. So we flew back to Earth after Earth had lost the war, and now we're trying to catch up. How did the war end?
The Urquan came roaring through Vux space and tried to push past the India and Mira star systems. Their onslaught was barely repulsed, and our counterattack made hardly a dent in the hierarchy forces, but we held the line. The Corward front remained intact. Over the following 10 years, there were many great battles between the combined Alliance Starfleet and the Urquan and their hierarchy of battle thralls. Then in 2134, a dramatic shift in the balance of power took place. This must have been about the time the science research mission was sent to the planet of Vela. Our fleets were pushed back from the Indy-Mira line beyond Raynet. Holding Rigel caused grievously in Chenjesu forces,
Sounds like he's
and the
laughing about it.
Urquan, recognizing this weakness, shifted to focus the brunt of their forces on Procyon. That was the last we heard from the Chenjesu and the Murnaher. A few weeks later, waves of ships hit us from all directions. When Ceres Station, our outpost on the asteroid belt, fell to the hierarchy, we knew we were beaten, but we fought on anyway. 3 days later, the Urquan vaporized our last remaining laser forts on the moon, and the dreadnoughts took up geosynchronous position above Rome, Moscow, Beijing, Tokyo, London, Buenos Aires, and Washington.
I think I've seen this
We lost the
movie.
war, and we knew it. But the Urquan decided to make it real clear. And that's why if you check any of our most recent maps, you won't find Buenos Aires.
The other cities are fine, though. What happened after the war?
After the UN submitted their formal surrender, we were given a week to decide the nature of our servitude. The Urquan demanded that the decision be made through popular vote. When all the votes were tallied, Earth had
Urquan,
chosen not
democratic.
to fight for the Urquan. We had become a fallow slave world. We were given a month to withdraw all of our people and equipment to Earth. Anyone or anything left off planet would be destroyed after the shield went up. Then the Urquan
That's
broadcast
right, Q.
an odd message. All objects of human construction more than 500 years old were to be abandoned. We didn't know what the Urquan meant until they moved their dreadnoughts into new orbital positions.
Oh, so basically the
and opened
US is
fire on the
fine,
surface with
and
their
everywhere
fusion
else gets
weapons.
torched.
In seconds, large sections of London, Paris, and other European cities were incinerated. At first, we thought they were going to annihilate us after all. And we noticed they were also striking such targets as the Giza Pyramids, the Parthenon in Athens, and Stonehenge. Curiously, the United States was almost untouched.
Cultureless
Flaming rain
swine.
lasted
Sorry,
40
America.
hellish hours. It took days after we crawled from our smoldering shelters to realize what the Urquan had done. Our new masters had targeted every building, monument, or other man-made construction older than 500 years and destroyed it. In those 2 days, we lost most of the history of mankind. In some cases, the Urquan destroyed places we did not even suspect were significant. From their positions in orbit, the dreadnoughts blew away a kilometer of land in central Iraq, vaporized several targets in the Amazon rainforest, punched a big hole through the Antarctic ice cap to destroy something
Don't you
deep
just
under
want to
the
know what
surface,
those are?
and melted a broad swath of the ocean floor in the southeastern Atlantic.
Atlantis!
Then
They
just
blew
a
up
couple days
Atlantis!
Later, the shield went up, and our contact with the outside world stopped. The next time I saw the stars was 8 years ago, when I was transferred up here to be the new commander of this starbase.
Alright.
Would you like any information on any other aspect
Well,
of
no,
history?
we just spent the last 5 hours listening to lore, so I think it's time to play the game.
Sure. Anything else?
I do not require additional information.
Fine. Is there anything else
Fine.
you need? We shall await your return, Captain.
Okay, so this is the badass space station view. fleet. This is where we can, yeah, we can buy new ships. I'm not fucking spending 1,100 RUs on an Earthling cruiser. If you haven't figured it out already, I think these ships suck. And yeah, so it costs 3 RU to get a little fleet man to add to the crew of either your main ship or any ships in your fleet. Here you can trick out your flagship. Modules. Like fuel tanks, crew pods, what else can we build? Storage bays to be able to hold extra resources. Dynamos, which adds extra charge to your weapons. Crew pods to add more crew. Crew is basically HP for your ships. I don't remember what my initial strategy is. Now, usually when I used to play this game, I would just trick out the flagship and use that for combat. But I feel like it's kind of cheating, because it's got a boring playstyle, and eventually it just blows everything up in one shot. So I wanted, in this playthrough, to use the actual ships in the game, the actual race's ships, as much as possible, which means I'm not going to upgrade the flagship quite as much for combat. So I think I can go ahead and get more like fuel and storage stuff instead. Oh, you can also get, you can buy more landers, or very important, I think, for us, you're probably going to want this right away, more thrusters so we can turn better, so we don't miss a planet when we're trying to get into orbit. So I think I'll buy another pair of thrusters. I'll get another storage bay, another fuel tank, fuel up. Oh man, the price of gas is so expensive ever since Biden became president. And I think that's it. Let's go, let's do some spice mining. Let's start by mining Mercury. We left some pretty good shit back there. Very slow. What? Wait. Yes. We have reached the orbit of Mercury. Entering planetary orbit. Scan Mercury for me, Jeeves. 165 degrees on the surface, which that's pretty hot. That actually matters. The temperature on the surface decides how much fire there is to dodge. The earthquake activity there, that's the one at the bottom where it says 3. It's like on a scale of like 3 to 8, is how many earthquakes there are. Earthquakes are other things you have to dodge. And the last hazard on the planetary surface is lightning, which you can see from the lightning icon. So the gold-colored stuff is the is worth the most, followed by the gray stuff, followed by the red stuff. But we're gonna pick it all up anyway, so don't worry about it. Just gotta dodge some fires. Silver, iron, nickel. As you can see, the lander fills up. There's a little red bar there. Every time we land, unfortunately, it costs some fuel. You can see the fuel use there, 0.7 units of fuel to land. So yes, there is actually like some economy and resource management going on here, especially in the early game, where you're kind of desperate for money, and you don't want to waste it by like losing a lander or something. Eventually you can get upgrades so that your landers can hold more stuff, because like I have to make so many trips. That's wasted fuel. And fuel is money. Every unit of fuel costs me 20 RUs. Dodging fire like a pro. Oh. One last trip ought to do it. That was close. Filling up on nickel. Vanadium. Oh, fuck! I think they probably made that one up. We almost lost our lander there. 10 people died in that fire. So that basically wipes out most of the gains we made from that trip. Unfortunate. You can see our crew is down to 40. Rest in peace. So we'll cruise past Venus next, although I'm pretty sure that there's no point in attempting a landing on Venus. Our lander will probably be instantaneously destroyed, but let's go say hi first. Venus. As you can see, surface temperature of 457 degrees Celsius. Lightning rating of 8. And nothing valuable on the surface. We're gonna not land on Venus. Goodbye. We've been to Earth, so let's go check out Mars. Have you been to the moon? Yes, we've been to the moon. We found the broadcast station sending what is probably very useful information on a loop. Mars is a cool minus 53 degrees Celsius with moderate lightning and earthquake activity. A fair chunk of minerals down there. No energy signs or biological life. So let's go down and fill up. Bismuth. Cargo. So we have 700 units of free space. Nice. Let's continue cruising then. Out into the outer solar system to see what we can find. What? Back up. We missed Jupiter. So you can't land on Jupiter, obviously. But Jupiter has some moons. And very cutely, they took the Galilean moons and made them landable. Here we are at Callisto. There's nothing. Not a single thing. Moving along. Ganymede, on the other hand. These are all quite nice places to land. Very, very cold, that's fine. Our lander can withstand the cold of space. All these worlds are yours, except Europa. Sick reference, bro. So this stuff is not very valuable, but we're desperate, so we're gonna go ahead and pick this stuff up. Cyanoacetylene. Whatever that is. What's cool is that the gravity of each body determines how much fuel it takes to land there. which is a really nice touch. That's why it only takes 0.3 units of fuel to land on this planet, well, this moon, because it has low gravity. Here we are. It's Europa. We are going to attempt a landing here. They should have put like a little energy signature or something on it. Put a monolith here. Would have been too cute. Hey, that's a radioactive, isn't it? Astatine. This game taught me some new elements. Astatine is radioactive. So some of the colors were a little close together. The reds, which I don't know, those are halides or something? Fuck. They're worth less than the radioactives are. We can take a look at the cargo manifest view. It actually tells you how much each class of mineral is worth. Alright, one last Galilean moon. This one's a spicy one. It's Io, which has a lot of seismic activity, which is scientifically accurate. Io is a planet that has volcanoes and shit in real life. So they put a lot of valuable minerals there, but that's very high seismic activity, so it's very possible we could get our lander punked, which is why we're going to save scum our way through this. By saving before we land. Ah, give me that actinium. Oh shit! Sweet, sweet radioactive elements. Smarter to land here and work our way east, and then wrap our way over if we're not full yet. Be smart. If I remember correctly, it is possible to lose minerals if you pick up an entire deposit without enough space on your lander to hold the whole thing. Which is too bad. Well, that was lucrative. I don't remember what happens if you try to orbit the planet itself. Jupiter. Cool science. Move along. Doesn't give you the option to land. Next up on the solar system tour, Saturn. They only show one moon. I bet it's Titan. The only moon anyone cares about. It's Titan! Some activity on the surface. Some versions have it leave the excess minerals lying there to pick up. Oh, well, that's cool. Catch you later, Shadow. I think things are going to be pretty calm here. Don't worry. Thanks for hanging out. I think it's calm enough that we can go down and pick up these irons and things. It's not too bad. Barium. Barium? I barely know. I'm sorry, chat. I won't do it again. That was a lightning. If you wanted to know what lightning looks like, that's what it looks like. Next stop, Uranus. Although, Neptune is closer. We're skipping an orbit. We're not going in order. What's that? The planets don't always line up? That's right. Scientifically accurate game strikes again. Triton, the moon of Neptune. Not much happening. A few minerals. It's fine. Let's get them. That's tritonium tritanium. Oh, I'll be here all millennium. That was barely worth it. Let's take a look at Neptune before we go. What's up, Neptune? Oh, I didn't stop in to see if they showed the rings of Saturn. Is this game anything like Dwarf Fortress or another story generator? Nope. The story is not randomly generated. The map is not randomly generated. Well, it may have been procedurally generated, like, to start with, but it's baked in. So the map is always the same, the story is always the same. It's more of like a grand sci-fi space opera. I guess sci-fi space opera is a little redundant, but you know what I mean. We're still at the very beginning of the game, exploring the solar system. Stripping it of its... They didn't give Saturn its ring. I can't find Uranus. Has anyone seen Uranus? It's really dark there. Hey, there it is. Apparently Uranus doesn't have any useful moons. We'll still stop in and say hi, just for the sake of visiting everywhere in the solar system. There it is. They do have the axial tilt correct, though. Which, I'm just gonna say, if like you're a solar system nerd, the fact that Uranus's ridiculous axial tilt is here is, you know, that's good shit, alright? It's good shit. So we already visited Neptune, which leaves us with one planet to visit. Our good friend... Oh shit, I'm gonna overshoot it. Our good friend, Pluto. Here we are. Did you catch that? There are two things here on Pluto. One of them is a purple mineral signature. Those are for exotic minerals and materials. And the other is one lone power signature. Something's going down on Pluto. Lucky guy. Let's go. Alright, 5 Tso crystals. The fuck is that? Mayday from surface. We've come under fire from an alien vessel we have found hiding on the surface of Pluto. Captain, they killed Kowalski, Fritz, Chin, O'Donnell, Luigi, and all 3 of the Lieberman triplets. We have returned fire, but our stunners can't penetrate the ship's hull armor. We are initiating emergency launch procedures. Not the Lieberman triplets.
Attention, a big, mean, hostile alien vessel hovering overhead in an obvious attack posture. This is Spotty, Captain Whistle.
Yes!
I know you are going to torture me, so let's just get this over with right now. The coordinates of my homeworld, Spatewa, are 241.6 by 368.7, and the ultra-secret Spathe cipher, which is known only by me.
Here's the Spathe.
And several billion other Spathe, is Happy Mappy Duffy. Sorry about that little mistake with your landing vehicle. I was so startled when it approached my vessel in a threatening manner that my automated defense systems fired on it when it got too close. I hope nobody got hurt.
I fucking love these guys. Attention, alien vessel. Identify yourself or be destroyed.
Of course. As I said, I am Captain Photo of the Spotty Lordship Star Runner. Our sensors have tracked your entry into the system, which you are no doubt here to conquer. And while you are certainly welcome to do so, we would be greatly appreciative if you would please just go away and forget this star system ever existed. If you don't go, it will greatly complicate our master-slave relationship with the Earth One, who stationed us here to watch over the Earthlings.
We understand that sometimes these tragic misunderstandings happen. We grieve, but are not bitter.
Phew, thanks. For a minute there, I thought you were
What's up,
going
Mikey
to
Stocks?
kill me.
What are you doing here on Pluto?
About 20 years ago, this region of space was dominated by a loose confederation known as the Alliance of Free Stars, which was composed of the aliens native to these parts who did not want to be enslaved. They made a valiant effort against the superior Urquan forces. It even looked like they might miraculously defeat the combined Urquan armada, right up to the point at which the Urquan totally defeated, indeed annihilated them.
Annihilated. So, what are you doing here on Pluto? You didn't answer the question.
When the Urquan armada entered the system to subjugate formerly the Earthlings, the Urquan presented the humans with the standard slave options. Join the hierarchy as combat roles and retain some autonomy, including the right to travel through space, or become a fellow species and return to pre-atomic savagery on the surface of their homeworld, encased for all time beneath an impenetrable force shield. The humans chose the latter option, and so were swiftly imprisoned on the surface of Earth. But the Earth One didn't trust them to obey the restrictions, so they chose a small group of hierarchy combat starships from the Inlet and Spartan fleets to create the so-called Earth Guard and station them at a base on Earth's moon.
That didn't answer why he's on Pluto. Tell me what you're doing on Pluto now.
Originally, we were stationed on Earth's moon, which made us Spathe a bit uneasy because with each passing day we grew more and more worried about the sneaky Earthlings making a surprise attack. So the Illrat kept telling us that it was impossible since the Earthlings had no ships or weapons whatsoever. That made
Fucking
us feel a
Spathe.
bit better, but when the Illrat left, again we grew fearful and decided to make a strategic redeployment to Mars. Later on, we decided it would be prudent to relocate to Jupiter's moon, Ganymede, then later Saturn's moon, Titan, and finally here to Pluto.
So what happened to the Ilrath stationed in the system?
The Illrat contingent were supposed to be the toughest ridge crest, the most rigid flipper, yes, the backbone of the Earth Guard force. But they departed the system en masse not long after the last Urquan dreadnought vanished from this region of space. They claimed to have received a direct order from their gods of evil and darkness, who had grown dissatisfied with the Illrat's passivity and wanted them to kill, or at least torture someone soon.
That's Dogar and Kazon for you.
They just got bored and went up to have some fun.
When do you expect the Ilrath to return?
Well, when they were pushing up into hyperspace 18 years ago, we asked them that very question, and I think they said something to the effect of, "Real soon."
He did the Ilrath voice. So, what's happening on Luna then?
We decided that if the Earthlings figured out we had abandoned the base on Luna, they would be more likely to try something sneaky. So, we rigged up some old service androids and ordered them to drive around on the lunar surface in bulldozers, endlessly pushing around the same piles of dirt. In addition, we connected the base's local radio transmitter to an audio malnorme fun rum called Winky's Happy Night, hoping they would think we were still there.
So the looping broadcast on the moon that our scientists were sure was some kind of alien warning was actually reruns of this fun rom, Winky's Night Out. Thank you, Gershon. So what happened to the other Spathy ships?
Over the past years, it became necessary to redeploy strategically some of our Earth-powered forces to our homeworld in case of a sudden surprise attack by a vicious, unrelenting alien race which we Spathy call the Ultimate Evil.
Who or what is this ultimate evil?
As yet, the Ultimate Evil remains largely unmanifest, and its powers and exact intentions are still a bit obscure, since it lurks just outside the range of even the most sensitive long-range detectors, which we feel gives conclusive evidence as to the Ultimate Evil's nefarious intent.
Yes, of course. So, how many crew do you have aboard?
Dozens, that is to say scores and perhaps even hundreds of my brethren stride through the corridors of this specially modified, super efficient, mass destruction-oriented starship,
Oh,
which
Fuifo.
could lay siege to an entire planetary system should we choose to do so, which, fortunately for you, we have decided not to do today.
Hundreds? Come on.
I am undone. You are far too clever for a poor Spathy like me, and now I must submit to your superior alien intellect. I guess I am not revealing any truly important secrets if I tell you that each of my species' lunar-class void ships typically holds 30 Spathy crewmen, though at present my vessel, the Star Runner, is not up to full complement due to the needs of my homeworld in their resistance against the Ultimate Evil. And in fact, my vessel is somewhat understaffed right now, seeing as how I am the only spotter on board, which is a bit frightening as I am
Poor
sure
little
you can
Fuifo.
understand.
All by himself on Pluto for 17 years. Why are you still here, Captain Fuifo?
Since it was our most powerful and unforgiving masters, the Orkwan, who stationed us here, we knew it would be grossly stupid to disobey them completely, but we decided it would be okay to send just one ship home. We used one of our most ancient and solemn rituals, Poon Taffy, to pick the lucky ship. Then, some months later, we decided that it wouldn't really hurt if we sent one more
yes.
ship home.
The
And then
slippery
and
Spathy
another,
fallacy.
And another. Well, you get the idea. Alas, as fate would have it, when the final ritual was performed, I, Barito, was left here alone. For, as even the most immature in wrestling knows, there must always be one spotter who puts the short top run stick.
I love his delivery of Tapun stick. So yeah, they drew straws, and Fuifo picked the short straw. Rip Fuifo. Where are the Urquan now?
Our masters don't really keep us very well informed about their goings-on, so that all we know is that immediately after the subjugation of the last Alliance race, the Yahat, I think, the Urquan gathered their dreadnoughts and departed for the edge of the galaxy, commanding us to obey the slave laws or face their wrath when they returned.
Do you know anything about other alien races?
We only know bits and pieces of what happened to each race. For instance, when defeated, the Yahat joined the hierarchy as combat roles, while the Cyrene chose to be slave-shielded on a planet in the Bug Squirt star system.
Bug Squirt star system.
No, that's not right. I forget its name. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, the Sophisti. They were utterly wiped out in a gigantic blaze of glory.
That's a good one. Bug Squirt. What do you mean, blaze of glory? What happened to the show Fixty?
The Sophisti were half feral, as you know, having been uplifted by the Yacht just a few decades before the start of the war. Given their habit of detonating those suicidal so-called glory devices in combat, it came as no particular surprise to me when, upon the arrival of the Orphan Primary Task Force at their homeworld, the Sophisti caused their sun to explode in a colossal supernova, destroying the entire planetary system, and not incidentally dozens of Earth-1 dreadnoughts.
If you say bug squirt 3 times, I hear he appears. Oh man, the music. If I understand my Star Control 2 lore properly, to source the music for the game, because they had no budget for it, they actually tapped into the brand new community of OGG file enthusiasts who were making like higher quality digital music for fun for the first time, and started a contest where the like 18 winning, hey, it's New Pound. Hello, Faust, how you doing? The like 18 like winners of the contest would get like $50 and a coupon or something. I don't remember the exact terms. So they got all kinds of people to like send in their entries and pick the best ones and use them as the music for the various themes for the races for super cheap by making it a silly contest out of a bunch of enthusiasts. And I don't know, I just thought that was brilliant. You may have to fact check some of the details of that story, but I believe that the rough outlines are correct. What about yourself, Wifo?
You mean me, personally? Nice of you to ask. I was born a poor green incrusting, the youngest child of a family of 18,400.
Oh, Jesus fuck.
My male parents had to work hard to support us, very hard. But each of my brothers and sisters and I tried to help out to make ends meet. The female parent was kind and sweet to all of us. Why, she once even called me by name. She said, what a treat, a golden memory. Swiftly matured into a fine example of my species with my parents' assistance. Achieved independence. Specifically, they pried me from the door jam and rolled me into the street. Thus prepared, I set out to make my fortune. I had great dreams in those days. Yes, great dreams. I knew that someday I would be vastly rich, wealthy enough to afford a large, well-fortified mansion. Surrounding my mansion would be vast tracts of land, through which I could slide at any time I wished. Of course, one can never be too sure that there aren't monsters hiding just behind the next bush. So I would plant trees to climb at regular, easy-to-reach intervals. And being a study of the world,
Probably
I
Dash
would
13.
know that some monsters climb trees, though often not well. So I would have my servants place in each tree a basket of perfect stones. Not too heavy, not too light, just the right size for throwing at monsters. I was thinking about what color the stones would be painted. Aqua, mauve, or magenta, when a vegetable cart came careening
My
down the
cabbages.
street outside my house, and knocked me unconscious. When I awoke, I was aboard the void ship Star Runner, headed for Earth. Apparently, I had been out of my head for quite some time after the accident, and with the assistance of some kind strangers, had been relieved of my funds and convinced to join the Navy, where I have been unpleasantly employed for the last 25 years.
Wifo's entire life. He stepped out the door, got hit by a cart, shanghaied into the Navy, and then left on Pluto. And then he runs into us. Wifo's entire life story. The galaxy teems with threatening monsters. Are you happy here, alone and vulnerable? Stardock used that to argue Paul and Fred didn't own the copyrights to the game. What, the, like, unlicensed music? Ah.
true, Captain, how true. In truth, just between us, during the past 7 years, I have been quite ill at ease, and yet now I find myself enjoying your company. This witty dialogue, and the presence of your huge, powerful, death-dealing starship, which, being my friend, you would certainly feel compelled to use in order to save me from any hostile life forms who threatened me with death.
I want to protect FIFO. I'm sure you'd feel a lot safer if you were to come with us. That's not what's written.
Jubilation! I discard all prejudice and hesitations and accept and celebrate your offer of protection and your undying commitment to my well-being. I must wax melancholy for just a moment, though, and make sure you understand that any other spaceships we meet at large in the galaxy are not going to be quite so responsive to your friendly gestures as myself, since they bear more heavily the yoke of Earthborn enslavement and are also
Enslavement?
out of line with a totally unknown alien, which I, having been left here alone, cannot do. Welcome me aboard, Captain.
Hey, FIFO has joined. It was all messy and they settled, so we never got to see what the judiciary thought. Ah, yeah. So often the case. People just fucking settle because it's too much trouble to deal with. If ever you read somebody is convicted of something, or whatever, pleads guilty, more accurately, it doesn't really automatically mean that someone did it. It's something I've learned. Alright, time to dump off these minerals, replenish ourselves for our first trip outside the solar system.
Welcome back, Captain.
Commander, I have minerals to offload. So we're down at 175 RU. Let's see what our little mining expedition has gotten us. Oh, yeah.
Excellent work, Captain. Be careful out there, Captain.
3,000 RU. Probably gonna have to spend most of it on fuel and crew, unfortunately. Time to float the crew on the Yep. Fill up the crew on our new Spathia looter. And should we buy another cruiser just to make sure we have, like, a worthwhile fleet? Or should we buy some more thrusters and stuff for the ship? I'll buy one more cruiser. We can afford to buy one more thruster. That'll help us turn faster. As you can see, our ship turns like shit. Alright, let's go. Time to see what lies beyond the orbit of Pluto, beyond the Kuiper Belt and the Oort Cloud, in the space between the stars. Billions and billions of destinations out there.
Spice mining.
So, fun fact. I just started reading Dune for the first time. As my usual, I'm doing the audiobook. However, I did not know what half these terms are, and with the wide cast having some accents, I misheard some of these terms, which led me
Yelling out in Chapter 1, why is the Space Nun taking the 15-year-old boy to a ganja bar? Nice. Here we are. So that's an excellent story. Thank you. And finally, an appropriate use of the 69-bit spice mining scare alert. Here we are in hyperspace, which has a super sick, dope theme song. And we have access to something new, which is the star map here. This is the absolutely incredible Star Control 2 star map, which is slightly stolen from Starflight 2, but we'll get there maybe one day. So all these little dots, those are stars. If you mouse over one of these stars, it'll show you the name of the star. USS Yep is looking mighty fine tonight. Thank you, Lone. These circles that you can see are the areas of influence of that alien species. So as we encounter aliens, it will draw in a circle for where they are currently operating. And these are not static. Things can happen during the course of the game that can cause the forces of different aliens to move. Important things. Shrink or grow. This is some sort of dynamic wizardry. So where do we want to go first? Well, we could start by going to one of the closest stars here, Sirius, the dog star. Is the spice mining alert deliberately so distorted that you only know what it is from the picture? Yes. We were playing the Dune 1992 game quite a bit during the previous lead up to Dune, before it got delayed. And when you talk to the Fremen there, they say we're doing spice mining so often it became a meme. The only thing to do with the repeated meme was to deep fry it and turn it into an alert. So I took the absolutely most deep fried version I could find. Let's autopilot our way to Sirius. Oh, he turns so slow. We are only one planet in orbit of Sirius, the dog star. A lanthanide world, which unfortunately has a surface temperature of over 1,000 degrees and far too much seismic activity to safely land on. So despite the fact that there are beautiful shining green lanthanides, we are going to not land here, because it would be certain death. So we're just gonna keep moving. Every song in this game is dope, you can't change my mind. I wouldn't want to, because you are absolutely correct. Look like you're getting toilet flushed. Yes, you're not wrong. Whoop. We need to invest in some better engines for the ship. We're so slow. What's this? Alpha Lyrae. Starting with the inner planet. An ultramarine world. Cold, not too active. Some nice minerals. Let's scoop them up. Krypton. Holmium. Ow. Thank you. One more planet in this star system. You cannot visit the stars, unfortunately. You just go right over them. Starport GE, an old MMO from 2004. Can't say I have. Usually just a lurker. We'd like to say you're enjoying the stream. Happy to hear that, Patty Howard. Ah, a noble world, probably full of noble gases. Cold and quiet, and only 11% the gravity of Earth. It's probably going to be real cheap to land on, too. Yeah, 0.2 units of fuel to land. Easy. Easy. A wonderful find. Okay, there are a few earthquakes to dodge, but nothing we can't handle. Not bad. Let's move along. Do the resources respawn? They do not. Luckily, the game is very well designed. In the early phase, you desperately need to scrape together minerals to upgrade your ship, but as you get further into the game, you have other ways of getting resources. As eventually you're going to start doing a lot more fights, you get resources by destroying enemy ships. And very smoothly, your resource main source of income changes from mining various planets to fighting, actually. So let's see if there's any nearby stars of interest, like down here. You can't, just above my McLean blind. This is the Centauri system. And we heard, this is why you have to pay really close attention anytime they mention any points of interest, any locations or star systems in the dialogue. Alpha Centauri, apart from being like just a badass place that's in all the sci-fi, was specifically mentioned by the Starbase commander as being the location of one of the precursor stations, I think he said it was. So it's definitely somewhere that we're going to want to check out. But we'll first hit up Gamma Centauri on the way there, and then go to Alpha Centauri. What do we got? An iodine world. Too much earthquake activity. And heavy. But you know what? I'm just going to show you guys what it's like. I'm going to save in case my lander gets blown up. This is what it's like when there's too much earthquakes. Okay. Earthquakes are probably the least serious hazard. I guess it's still technically doable. Yo, what's up, Bacon? Dodging earthquakes. Just like real life. How was your hamburger? Time to go check out this funny little pink-looking planet. Right up here near the star. I'm going to guess that it's going to be a little inhospitable being so close to the star. It has a moon. The moon of Gamma Centauri 1, let's call it Gamma Centauri 1A, is a cyanic world. Nice and light, quiet, cold, with barely anything worth picking up down there, but really we are not feeling picky. Eventually, it's not even worth your time to land on a planet like this, but we're not there yet. Let's go check out this inner planet. Is it a gas giant? It's not. It's an ultraviolet world. Seismically active, heavy, but we could probably... Oh, look at that. Look at that booty. We gotta get down there and mine the shit out of it. But we're gonna save. It could be dangerous. Huge gold deposits. Oh yeah. Gold, radioactive elements. We're gonna be fucking rich. Oh shit. We lost 2 people to a lightning strike. Yeah, they do the Roblox, like, oof sound, or whatever the fuck it is. Minecraft. Whatever the kids play these days. Ah, damn it. Okay, we're losing people. If you want to be real hard-assed about it, a lost crew member costs 3 RU to replace. Whereas a single radioactive element is worth, what, like 10? Easily worth it. Thank you for the posture check, E-tarts. For what it's worth, I'm currently standing. Yeah, those 19 gold units easily pays for everyone who's going to die on this expedition. Totally worth. Ah, fuck. Now, what I don't want to have to pay for is to replace the lander itself. I realize that sounds heartless, but I don't really care. Gold! Alright, that was extremely lucrative. Next stop, Alpha Centauri. Takes a long time to turn this ship around. What's this? There's a black dot approaching me. Encounter in deep space. Converse, fight, games.
We come in peace.
Something seems wrong here. We are from Earth, on a mission of peace.
This is Probe 2418-B. We are on a peaceful mission of exploration. Priority override. New behavior dictated. Must break target into component materials.
Well, that's bad. Alright. Let's take Captain Fuifo out. Okay, that's how you do it. So that's the Slilandro that's after me there. This could be rough, actually. Because the Slilandro can, like, turn on a dime. And all I have is my little rocket. So the Spathi have 2 weapons. They have that cannon. Blue, blue, blue. It's quite weak. Blue. And their secondary weapon is something called the Backwards Utilized Tracking Torpedo. I'm not making this up. It's from the manual. It shoots at the back of your ship, and it's a homing missile. The Backwards Utilized Tracking Torpedo, the BUTT. Okay, so the butt is never going to hit the Slilandro. I've made a terrible choice. I think what I want to do. Uh-oh. God, that takes forever. Holy shit. We're gonna swap Fuifo out and see if we can do better with an Earth Cruiser. Oh, at least we hit the goddamn. Oh, alright. Not good. Well, the Earthling Cruiser does a little bit better. We got 550 RU for the trouble, but we lost a lot of dudes. So I don't think we really came out ahead there. The butt can work. I don't think it's going to work against the Slilandro AI. It's great against regular players, I think, and a lot of the other ships. So Alpha Centauri is an absolutely ridiculously huge star system, which it's cool. Let's start working our way from the outside in. Planet X. No, it's just 9. They have many machines on X. 159 degrees, so there's probably going to be fire. Let's save and go. That's huge! 23 lithium. Launch fighters. Well, yeah. Don't forget, go, go, go. Do we lose our follow alert? Alright, goodbye, X. At the risk of spoiling it, something cool does happen in this star system. We're not only here to mine. Planet V. There is no Planet V. Ah, it's a Ruby world. Alright, so this is a smash and grab job. Because the planet is way too hot to stay on. 433 degrees. We're going to get incinerated like instantly. But those are huge deposits of perps. Let me show you something. Every unit of radioactives is worth 8 RUs. A single unit of exotic materials is worth 25. These things right here. No, not that. Those giant-ass deposits probably have like 20. Count them up. 20 times 25. There's probably like 50 units of exotic sound there. 50 times 25. It's so worth it. So we're gonna We're going to try to land directly on them, and then land right away. It'll be worth the fuel. Let's go. Thanks, Patty. Happy to hear from you. All right. Like I said, the pictographic menus are really cute, but not that functional. Scan, land. All right. So if there's a slight randomness added to your landing zone specifically to stop this kind of shenanigans, so it's possible that we'll be RNG'd off of our target into fire. If so, we reload, because fuck you. $26 silk crystals. That's so good. Got it. 25 units of neutronium. Oh, we're gonna go for a double here. 20 neutronium, 19 neutronium. Amazing. 90 units of exotic matter. We're fucking rich, lads. Didn't even lose anybody. So good. Roster. Does that let me rename my captains? No. Just the crew. I can crew up from the ship. Does anyone remember if you can rename the captains on your ships? That was actually a bad move. We're gonna need more crew to refill the lander. We're more likely to lose people to fires and lightning on the surface than we are to fighting off other enemy ships. I'm gonna take that back. Take everyone basically out of here. Yeah, there we go. Are there Toe Crystals in Skylanders too? I don't know shit about Skylanders. Alright, let's check out Alpha Centauri 7A. I missed it. I'm sorry. There we go. It's a dust world. It's 626 degrees. I think we're gonna pass. We're too good for that shit. It's about the only thing you know about Skylanders. A super dense world. Surface temperature 1,322 degrees. Level 6 lightning activity. That's a hard pass. That's a big, hard no. Let's take a look at the planet itself. It might be a gas giant. So it is. Goodbye. Working our way in, we're looking for the 6th planet, which is all the way out over there. We're gonna go in order of orbits. It's the way you do it. It can sometimes be hard to tell the planet in the foreground from the stars in the background, but I forgive it. A crimson world. Another planet, too hot to realistically land on, offering only iron and other such base elements that are not really worth the risk. So we're gonna move along. Hello, Lumi. Here we are at Alpha Centauri 5. This is SETI Alpha 5. Wait, no. Oh.
I am here for my How is the game so far?
Thank you for the blelelels. This is one of my all-time favorite games. Honestly, everyone who can stomach a little retro action should give this game a shot. For the world building, for the dialogue, and for just the sort of chill running around the galaxy and mining stuff and listening to cool tunes. It's just a really great time. We're going to attempt a risky landing on the noble world here to collect some noble gases. Ah yes, the blalilulalu, the blalilulalu. Oh lord, everything is on fire. I don't know if any further landings are really worth it. No Man's Sky Retro Edition. Yeah, except this game has like an amazing plot of aliens and politics and things, which I don't think No Man's Sky has. Did they patch in a space opera? I know that they've been doing amazing update after amazing update, but I still haven't played that game. That's enough punishment from that world. We're getting closer to the core now, heading to the 4th planet. It's actually on the other side of the star right now, but that's fine. Bless you, darling. Here we are at Alpha Centauri 4. Hopefully we don't find any colonists. Something. I was trying to put together a Wrath of Khan reference, but it wasn't very good. SETI Alpha is not really the same thing as Alpha Centauri. Alpha Centauri 3. What do we got? This is a good sign. Usually if a planet looks like this, it's going to be like a Ruby world or something. Ah, Ruby world. Got it. Very hot. More exotic material than we've ever seen in one place before. You know what that means. Save scumming. We're going down. It's a smash and grab. High risk, high reward mining. Oh god, there's so much fire. Oh fuck, oh fuck. That's a reload.
Nurse. Flashlight. We got it, baby. Isn't that sick?
13 months. Can we get poggies in chat?
Yo, Mello, 13 months. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming here and checking out the non-DB what the heck is this ancient-ass game, which now I realize is probably older than most of my audience. Thank you, I really appreciate that. In ye old days, games had to substitute the lack of graphics with world building and lore, and today it's kind of vice versa. I do feel similarly. Yeah. And you can still find good stuff in less graphically intensive games. But typically, yeah, if you're going to go all out on the effort of like the presentation and fully detailed 3D worlds, stuff like world building gets shoved into like, you know, archives and stuff, or codex entries. And even then they're not as good as what you're going to find here. That's right, Mass Effect. Shots fired. Star Control story is better than Mass Effect. Oh, fuck. Oh, we do it for the Soul Crystals. Have a save here. We're running out of crew members, actually. We have lost a lot of people on this mining expedition. Shit. Fuck. We're gonna have to take people off of our ships. Alright, everyone off Captain Fuifo's ship. We need more fodder for the landing crews. What's the point of the game? So right now we're doing a little space exploration and mining, but there's a space opera going on. Our character, unfortunately, was trapped and missed out on a galactic war, during which a race called the Urquan defeated Earth and its allies, trapped Earth under a slave shield, and then has sort of... Well, we don't really know what happened, because the Urquan don't really seem to be around, but Earth is still trapped under the shield. So we're going to explore and meet aliens and find out what's going on and what we can do about all this. I'm going to have to dump some cargo. This blue stuff, dump it into space. It's wasting cargo room. Yeah, basically it's like Mass Effect, but better. We are currently dodging fire to pick up extremely valuable minerals on the planet's surface. Sick. One last pile to go. Got it. We're going to have to dump some more of this worthless... What is this? Common elements? Useless. Literal garbage, worth 1 RU each. So these minerals are the main way that you get money. Money is RU at the beginning of the game. You explore different planets, take a little lander down and pick them up. It's basically a little resource gathering minigame, sending the Mako down to the planet, you know, pick stuff up. Eventually it becomes more efficient to like fight and blow up enemy ships and salvage them. But for now, this is how we make our money. And we spend money upgrading our flagship or buying more ships for our fleet. So that we can become intergalactic badasses. Or I guess interstellar badasses if you want to. Oh, what is that? What is that? There's some sort of space vessel orbiting that gas giant.
I am Trade Master Greenish, in command of the Melnome starship, inevitably successful in all circumstances.
Badass name for a ship.
I bid you a formal welcome, Captain. Though we Melnome have just recently arrived in this region of space, we have long desired to make contact with your species and look forward to an extended, profitable relationship.
Thank you, Professor Pendejo. We come in peace, representing the United Federation of Worlds.
Even before our first meeting, We knew of you, Captain.
Creep.
Though your struggle to free Earth shall be a long and difficult challenge, fraught with great danger and mystery, we have great confidence in you and your abilities.
This guy read the strategy guide. He knows what's going to happen. How did you know about us before meeting us?
We gather information from 1,000 secret sources in space and time. Our charge for revealing even one of these sources would be so high that your species would be in debt to us for centuries.
Okay. What can you tell us about yourselves?
Our origins and purposes are frankly mysterious, and due to several unavoidable factors, we are unable to discuss ourselves in any great detail.
What are these unavoidable factors?
First and foremost among these factors is our unwillingness to give away information about our history, psychology, and mental powers, our unique physiology, the exact locations of homeworlds, or our potentially ominous long-range plans. However, these important
sus.
and relevant pieces of information are available for a nominal sum of credits.
Shall we begin trading?
Yes, let us get down to business.
Oh shit.
Since this is
He put on the business time lights.
with us, let me explain how our system works. We are interested in purchasing certain items, specifically biological data on alien life forms, and the coordinates of certain strange worlds whose radiant energies defy all scanners, producing a rainbow-like image. In exchange, we have many interesting and valuable commodities, such as fuel, compatible with your starship's hyperdrive thrusters, technological specifications, allowing you to build new devices for your
Right, Lumi?
and
Let's get down to business.
important secrets which may help you in your travels. To facilitate trade, we translate all your sales into interstar credits. with
Credits.
which you may make purchases. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Now, what can we do for you today?
Why did your bridge turn purple?
That's a good question, with a very interesting answer. The fee for this information is 12 million credits.
I have 0. I have some items I would like to sell.
We appreciate your intentions, but we have nothing we wish to buy.
So yeah, the way that this works is that some planets actually have life on them. So you can beam down and zap those life forms, pick up biological data about them, bring the data over here to the Melnorme and sell it. Also, he mentioned the rainbow worlds, which are scattered across the galaxy. If you find rainbow worlds and tell them where they are, they give you tons of credits.
Spice mining.
Paul looked at the Benny Jazz rat nun, who smiled at him. She produced a small black box with a hole in one side. Put your hand in the box, she commanded. What's in the box? Paul asked. She snorted and giggled, the dankest kush.
I like your version of Dune better. Benny Jazz Rat Nun. Yeah, I imagine that the audiobook for Dune is kind of a rough ride because there are a lot of made-up terms thrown at you fast and thick right off the bat. Goodbye, Trade Master.
It has been a pleasure dealing with you, Captain. We look forward to your next visit.
Man, EP design, it's literally in the thing that you just saw. It says DVD streams and Twitter dad jokes will continue.
How nice to see you again.
We just let...
Now, what can we do for you?
This guy missed me.
It has the...
The life forms all have official names, like mysterious bees? I don't think I know the official names of the life forms. Now, this ultramarine world is tempting, but look at those readings. Look at those lightnings. Look at that temperature. Plus, our hold is full. We literally have to jettison less valuable crystals and things if we want to pick anything else up. Luckily, there's only one more planet to examine until we're done with Alpha Centauri, and we'll head back to the starbase and call it a night also. Alright, well, there's a little bit of exotic shit there. You know the drill. Save the game. Jettison some... Oh, I already got... I have free space. No need to jettison anymore. Send down the lander. Pick that shit up. Holy fuck. A rather inhospitable world. The role-playing resource guide, aka purchasable hint book. I need that in my life. I'm going to go see if I can locate it out on the high seas. I don't think they'd be mad. Well, thank you for a very lucrative mining expedition, Alpha Centauri. Time to head back to Earth. Put autopilot on so we can jam back to the solar system. We're being followed by what is probably another Slilandro probe. I can't resist. Gotta have the encounter. So last time we met one of these probes, it said, we come in peace, and we said, cool, we come in peace too. And then it said, a priority override, gonna have to break you down into constituent elements now, attacked me. So hopefully that doesn't happen again.
We bring greetings from a friendly species.
We too come in peace. Please believe us.
This is Probe 2418-B. We seek to make friendly contact with alien life forms.
Good.
Priority override.
Bad.
New behavior dictated.
Very bad.
Must break target into component materials.
Right. So we only have one ship with any crew left on it. Wish me luck. Oh fuck. Oh god. This is not a favorable matchup. Get me the fuck out of here. Oh, our ship was destroyed. Whew. Okay, so we took a massive beating there. We lost a cruiser, and most of our crew was killed, so we are limping back to Earth dock with a hold full of booty. It'll all be worth it in the end. Alright, let's have a chat with the Starbase Commander.
Ah, Captain, I'm glad you're back. I have some information I think you should hear. We are being bathed in a broad beam hyperwave transmission from the direction of the Rigel star system.
Let's go check out Rigel.
Due to the broadcast wide dispersion, we cannot discern its content.
I have some minerals to offload. Yes, 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 yes.
This will really help,
11,000
Captain.
are you.
Farewell,
Goodbye,
Captain.
Commander. Let's see how much money we have left after we restock all of our crew and fuel. Holy shit. We were down to nothing. So, unfortunately right now we only have the plans to build Earthling cruisers, which honestly I think are garbage tier spaceships. Especially against what you're going to run into in the early game with like those Slilandro probes. But it's all I can build, so fuck it, here we go. We definitely have enough money now to outfit ourselves with proper thrusters and turning jets. I guess to protect ourselves from probes, we can use the mothership. So I'll put a dynamo so that we can fire more often. How much can we sell? Oh, we don't lose anything? Oh, that's good. I forgot that it was fully efficient. So there's no downside in putting some equipment on now and taking it off later. Alright, so that was a pretty good first foray out into the galaxy. Our ship is a little better now, and we have a hint about where we want to go next. We're going to go to Rigel, where we're picking up broadcasts from an unidentified species. But we're going to do that next time. I'm not entirely sure when next time is going to be. This Thursday I'll be back, I'll be playing DVD. So probably next week we'll pick up the thread and get back to our space adventures. If you want to know exactly when, feel free to put !Discord in the chat for a link to our Discord server, where there is a channel specifically for the stream schedule, where I have not yet put up the September schedule, but I will do so ASAP. So thank you everyone who came out for our little variety night. I really appreciate that. I always kind of worry that, you know, it's not the game that I'm known for, and maybe it's not as interesting for people, so I feel a bit self-conscious about playing some random game from the early 90s, but I feel like we have a fun time, and hopefully you enjoy it too.